Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
How to make a pimento cheese sandwich. Buy yourself some pimento cheese and some white bread. You take 2 slices of bread and you spread the correct amount of cheese, like so. Then you close and you're done.
All right, there you go. That was actually from Better Call Saul. It wasn't from Better Call Saul. Just an added bonus when it comes to people who, viewers of Better Call Saul. But I remember, I guess Mike in that series in Breaking Bad and in Better Call Saul, another series, made more than one reference to the pimento cheese sandwich. I thought it was just
gross. Like, I'm sorry, it's not appealing.
I've never had them. That's the first time I heard of them was on Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Today, Craig Button, is he still with? He's probably gone now.
He's actually, it's good we're delaying because he's finishing his pimento cheese.
Oh, there you go. Perfect.
Right now. So.
Perfect. And an early lunch for Craig. Today's guest brought to you by the Bayside Oceanfront Resort. That includes Craig Button standing by. Exciting spring and summer season awaits at the Bayside, including a soon-to-be-completed outdoor pool fully equipped with ocean view cabanas alongside the #1 ranked coffee shop in Parksville, the Bay Cafe. Call 250-248-8333 now to book your reservation. Mention Donnie and Dolly. You get 10% off your nightly room rate. Also, be sure to grab some Donnie and Dolly merch now on sale at the Bayside as we're joined by TSN Scouting Director Craig Button. Kraken and Canucks tonight, Rogers Arena. Craig, thanks for joining us. Have you ever had a pimento cheese sandwich?
I never have, but I got to tell you, because this brings back memories of my father. My father loved peanut butter. Okay, and I don't know how he ever came up with this concoction, but we used to start to see it unfold, and we used to run for our rooms. So it would start off with 2 slices of white bread. It had to be white bread, and then he would take this peanut butter and he would slab it on nice and thick, and then he would slice an onion, if you can believe it. And he'd take an onion and put it on top of the peanut butter, and then he would take out a jar of mayonnaise and put it on the other slice of bread, and that's what he ate. A peanut butter, mayonnaise, and onion sandwich. Like, I have never tried one in my life. Literally, he would start it. We're out of here. We're out. I don't know if he thought that was some kind of cleanse or something, but like, I can only tell you this. So the pimento sandwich to me is another one of those, forget it, ain't happening. Not in this guy's life.
Craig, I'm pretty sure that wasn't a cleanse. I'm going to guess. Okay, tough turn from sandwiches to hockey. Seattle Kraken come into Vancouver tonight. Craig, there's 17 points ahead of the Canucks, and there are neighbors, and that hurts people up here. What were your realistic expectations? And it looks like they're going to make the playoffs for the Kraken going into this season.
My realistic expectations were that they would probably challenge for a playoff spot, be in the playoff chase, down the stretch. But, they got really good goal scoring. That, Ron Francis added some more offensive players, and their goaltending hasn't been very good. But all in all, they're a quick team that plays hard, that's got some real depth. I don't think they have any top-line players that you would consider top-line guys. I mean, Beniers is, to me, the rookie of the year, and in time will be that player. But I think that what they have is a team that has a lot of the same, and they're quick and they're fast and they put some pressure on you, and they can take advantage. But after what happened last year, and it's kind of interesting when you think about that, they had no chance following the Vegas Golden Knights expansion season, and they didn't make the playoffs. In fact, they weren't a very good team, but they've come back this year and certainly exceeded my expectations. Been a really good team, and I was wondering at the trade deadline, and they didn't really do anything significant, if that was going to hurt them. But it certainly hasn't hurt them. They look like they're going to be solidly in that wild card #1 spot.
Hey, Craig, we were talking about Jared McCann today. 2 goals last night, 37 on the season, traded by the Canucks in 19. His best year at the age of 25 in the NHL, Craig. Is there a message here just about the patience, a first-round pick? Your thoughts on him in the last 2 years? He's been great.
Yeah, he has been good. You know what happens, Rick, and it happens to every manager, it happens to every team. And Bob Gainey, I thought, put this so well. He said sometimes their timeline doesn't intersect with a team's timeline. And, we look back and we go, yeah, you shouldn't have done this. I ran into Danny Briere the other day, and I was thinking, he was on waivers, Danny Briere, out of Arizona after being a first-round draft pick. And, he's not the only example of players that have thing. But I think that's the best way of saying it. You can hang on to players, but the system doesn't allow you to do that anymore. And you get players that are looking and itching for an opportunity. You got teams that are looking to help their team right now. So I think that, that description of the player and the teams not lining up and not intersecting their timelines is a good one. And I think that's what happened. What's interesting to me is, when the Toronto Maple Leafs traded for Jared McCann, they exposed McCann and Kerfoot. Yep. It was interesting that the Seattle chose McCann, because I almost get the sense, and not knowing this, that, Toronto was feeling that they were going to take Kerfoot, and Seattle made the absolute right choice.
Craig, lots of stories in Toronto about Michael Bunting and the referees. The Leafs aren't happy with the way, he's being officiated. He yaps at the refs. There's been some embellishment. Playoffs around the corner, Craig. I'm sure they got to sit the kid down and talk to him. What would you do?
Yeah, it's funny. It's interesting. Over the course of time, there's always been players that have, you could look at and say, oh, boy, they're being targeted. But usually what I would say on that, Rick, is they've been targeted because of their own actions. So what I would say to Michael Bunting is real simple. You've earned a reputation. If you want to earn a different reputation, then act different. Real simple. Act differently. I don't think there can be anything more. And it's under Michael Bunting's control. It's totally under his control. This is not about the referees or hockey ops or anybody on his team. It's Michael Bunting. So if Michael Bunting wants to change the way he's viewed and wants to change the way that he perceives his treatment, then change the way you act. That's as simple as that.
Hey, Craig, Alexis Lafreniere scores a beautiful goal Sunday for the Rangers versus Washington. There was a between-the-legs move, and into the net the puck went. He has yet to bust out statistically for the Rangers. And, of course, so much made for him with the lottery and the ping-pong balls and all that not that long ago. Where's his career at?
Having watched Alexi for a long time, and certainly, I don't think anybody thought of him as anything but the first overall pick that year. I mean, there's only one player in the history of the CHL Player of the Year award that won it twice, and that was Sidney Crosby. And Lafreniere did that as well, which was pretty impressive. Yeah, the one thing about Alexi is I don't think he has that high-end skating ability that's going to allow him to be, a really top-end player. I think – I would expect him now to be probably in that 20 to 25 goal range, probably in the 50 to 60 point range. That's what he is. And, you go back and you try to look at the skating and you try to say, okay, how much, but he was a really, really impactful player. But I think watching him now in the NHL, the skating doesn't allow him to do that. You watch Tim Stützle, who to me now is the best player in that draft. He's the best player. It's not even, I don't even think it's up for debate. Tim is quick and fast, and he's agile, and he can really explode. And the way the game is played, that's what allows players to have a big impact. So while I feel that Alexi will be a really good, solid player, I don't think we're going to see him in the star category.
Okay, Craig, we're running a bit behind here, and I know you've got 2 slices of white bread, mayonnaise, onion, and peanut butter to buy. So we're gonna let you go. That's crazy.
Listen, you know what? I'm running for the hills like I used to at home. Run and get it out. Of
here. Craig, my dad used to eat Limburger cheese and pig's feet. He would go down across the border to buy that stuff, and you're right. We'd clear the house when he was eating that. Different world. Thanks, Craig. Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
you guys.
Yeah.